it's me, Ramona_YT, and welcome back to my YouTube video. And in today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys a classic coffee cake recipe, which is very easy to make, has minimum ingredients, and it is best to eat with like milk and stuff. So I'm going to be showing you guys that today. Yeah. So I haven't done any like cooking, baking videos in a while. Like I did like a walnut cake brownie and french fries, but those were just like, you know, either a box or like box recipe or something like that. This is kind of like a you know, from scratch type of recipe. So I'm gonna give it a shot and make a video of it. And I enjoy making this once in a while. It's delicious, and if you are like a coffee obsessor, then you'll like it for sure. So make sure to subscribe, like, and comment down below what other recipes you guys want to see. I can try different things, and let's get started. So first things first, what we're gonna do is make the plain cake. So I just have a bowl to put in all of the dry ingredients, and right here we have about 2 cups all-purpose flour, or 250 grams of all-purpose flour, and we're going to sift it in here and mix it with all of the other dry ingredients. So I'm going to use this sift. It's a little bit big, like large for it, but we're just going to go in. I think I should use like a spoon or something. I'm just going to use the cup thing we had to scoop a little bit in here. So we're gonna do a little bit at a time. If you have pre-sifted all-purpose flour, you can do that, but I think it is beneficial to sift it even though you have pre-sifted all-purpose flour. So we're just gonna sift this. You can sift all of the ingredients together, or you can sift them one at a time. Whatever makes sense to you. So I'm just going to sift all of this and I'll be back. Now, using a spatula or a spoon, what I'm going to do is switch gears, and I'm just going to kind of just press these little balls of flour into the sifting thing, and I'm just going to add another cup or so of this. So if you can see, some just goes right through it because it's kind of pre-sifted, and some kind of just stays in it. So I'm gonna sift this and I'll be back. So the flour has been sifted. Let's add the rest of the ingredients. Now we're going to be adding about half a teaspoon of salt in this. So I have this So next up, we need about 2 teaspoons baking powder, and you will need to sift this. So I'm going to be using a smaller sift for this, and all you gotta do is just add it in there, I guess, all of it, and then sift the excess, I guess. Let me actually check. Everything is just in there, because this, like the texture of this, it's kind of like sticky to glass. So to mine especially, I don't know if that's true, but I'm just gonna add everything in there. And now we're just gonna mix all of the dry ingredients together. And we're going to set this aside. So the next step is taking 1/4 cup milk, and we're going to add about half a teaspoon of instant coffee into it. Just get every bit of it, and then you're just going to stir this together, and this is going to be the coffee flavor into your cake. And I just used regular instant coffee. If you guys have like any flavored coffee, you can use that. I'm not sure you can use anything else except instant coffee, but up to you. The recipe says any instant coffee This is the instant coffee that I use. This is the dark roast. I think there's plenty of flavors in it, so you can do whatever you would like. It just, I think, has to be instant coffee. So this is the one. After you're done stirring it, set it aside. So now we're gonna move over to the rest of the ingredients. I have a new bowl right here, and we're gonna start off by putting 200 grams of room temperature butter in here. So let me show you guys what my butter looks like. This is what I have, the pretty room temp. They've been sitting out for a little while. So we're going to bring the bowl back, and we're going to open these up one by one and put them in there. And now we're gonna beat them up until they're fluffy. And we're gonna add about a cup of castor sugar. Of this dry ingredient batter, and I'm gonna add this into the wet ingredients, just half of it, no more no less. I'm gonna save this for the end, and we're gonna mix. Mixture in here. And now we're gonna add half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. We're gonna add the remaining flour. Setting the oven to 360 degrees Fahrenheit or 180 degrees Celsius, depending on whatever you prefer. time to make the syrup. You'll be needing 1/4 cup caster sugar along with half a teaspoon of instant coffee, and this syrup basically is just water, syrup, and coffee, and you'll be adding about half a cup to a cup of water depending on is there too much sugar or is there too less of a sugar. Like, depending on what you do, you would add water. You can add it up to how you like it. I added half a cup first, and I still saw sugar like on the spoon, meaning it wasn't dissolving. So what I did was add more water to kind of balance it out. And syrup just goes in between the layers of the cake to add more flavor to the sponge of the cake, and it helps a lot. And then the sponge soaks it up, or the cake soaks it up. So that's why you make the syrup. If you want to skip this step, there's no harm in it. You would just have frosting in a cake. Now I'm just taking a bottle and adding the syrup into it. If you don't have a bottle, you can take a spoon and slightly just add it on to your cake. I just have this laying around. These are very cheap at your local store, and you can get them. And it helps a lot with pancake batters and syrups and stuff like that. So I'll recommend this, but you can also use a spoon if you like. Now it's time to make the frosting. For the frosting, you'll be needing 3/4 cup of icing sugar. If you don't have 3/4 cup, because that measuring cup doesn't exist, you'll be using the 1/4 cup 3 times to get 3/4. I think that's how it works. So you'll see me adding powdered sugar like multiple times, and I also have the sifting thing again. You're going to be needing to sift the powdered sugar just because this one wasn't pre-sifted. I don't think any powdered sugar is pre-sifted, and it usually just creates blobs because it's legit powder. So you'll be needing to sift this, and sifting this was such a mess. The powdered sugar was everywhere, but anyways, moving on, we're going to be making the coffee mixture again. This one, I'm assuming this was 2 teaspoon coffee. I think 2 teaspoon coffee and 1 tablespoon milk. For this coffee mixture, originally it was 4 teaspoon coffee and 2 tablespoon milk. So you cut that in half and you get that. Or maybe it was not teaspoon. I am not sure. But I don't think it was probably tablespoon, because teaspoon milk, that's barely any. So your coffee mixture is done. You'll be adding this in the frosting to just add the little touch of coffee into the frosting as well. And let me tell you, this is literally, I'm obsessed with coffee. I eat coffee ice cream. I love coffee cake. So it's an obsession. With the butter, I also cut this in half. You'll be needing, I think, let me remember. I'll put this in the description. I cannot think of the measurements right now, just because I cut it in half. And I think it was 5 tablespoons. I'm assuming 5 tablespoons. So I had 4, like a small half stick, and then 1 tablespoon of another one. So that's the butter for y'all. And I am just going to be adding the powdered sugar little by little into the butter, and you're just gonna do that until it becomes like a frosting or like icing texture. And then you're gonna also add in your coffee flavoring. And then my camera died, so I'll show you guys the next part.